Imagine you are staring at a credit card bill that has just arrived. The balance is high, and the interest rate attached to it is 24%. This is an annual percentage rate that charges you $24 for every $100 you owe, every single year. Now imagine you have a small retirement account, a Roth individual retirement arrangement, sitting in a separate bank. It has some money in it, maybe a few $1,000s. You are wondering if you should take that money out, pay off the credit card, and stop the bleeding. This is a question that pits immediate relief against long-term wealth. Most people are told never to touch their retirement savings for consumer debt. But sometimes, the math tells a different story. Here is the fundamental problem with high-interest debt. When you carry a balance on a credit card with a 24% rate, you are effectively paying a guaranteed return to the credit card company. You are losing money every single day you carry that balance. In contrast, the stock market historically returns between 7 and 10% over the long term. This means that if you have 24% debt and 7% market returns, you are losing 17% of your wealth every year by not paying off the debt. Paying off that debt is like earning a guaranteed 17% return on your money, which is a return that no investment can reliably promise. However, taking money out of a Roth account comes with its own costs. A Roth individual retirement arrangement is a special type of savings vehicle where you pay taxes on the money before you put it in. This is different from a traditional account where you get a tax break now and pay later. Because you have already paid taxes on Roth contributions, the rules allow you to withdraw those specific contributions at any time without paying a penalty. This is a unique feature that does not exist in other retirement accounts. You can access your principal without the government charging you a fee for early withdrawal. But while you can access the money without a penalty, you do lose the potential growth of that money. This is the opportunity cost. If you take $5,000 out of a Roth account to pay debt, that $5,000 is no longer working for you in the market. Over 10 or 20 years, that money could have grown significantly through compound interest. Compound interest is the process where your earnings generate their own earnings. Think of it like a snowball rolling down a hill. As it rolls, it picks up more snow. The bigger the snowball gets, the faster it grows. When you remove the snow from the snowball to pay a bill, you stop the rolling process. You have to start a new snowball later, and you have lost the momentum of the original one. So, when does it make sense to break the snowball? It depends on the size of the account and the size of the debt. If your Roth account is very small, say only a few $1,000s, the future growth you lose might be less than the interest you save on the credit card. If you have a small Roth balance and a large credit card balance, the math favors paying the debt. But if the Roth account is large and the credit card debt is small, the math favors keeping the retirement savings intact. The key is to compare the interest rate of the debt against the expected return of the investment. If the debt rate is significantly higher, paying the debt is the superior mathematical move. There is also a psychological factor to consider. High-interest debt creates a constant state of stress. It feels like a weight on your chest. For some people, the mental relief of being debt-free is worth the financial cost of lost growth. If carrying the debt makes you anxious or prevents you from making other good financial decisions, removing that burden can be a powerful tool for stability. This is known as debt aversion. It is a preference for immediate financial safety over long-term wealth maximization. While financial planners often prioritize long-term wealth, they also recognize that a person who cannot sleep at night due to debt will not be able to make rational decisions about their future anyway. However, there are strict conditions you must meet before making this move. First, you must be absolutely sure that you will not use the credit card again. If you pay off the card and then charge more money onto it, you are now in a worse position than before. You have lost your retirement savings and you still have the debt. This creates a double loss. You must stop using the card or lock it away to prevent impulse spending. Second, you must ensure you are only withdrawing contributions, not earnings. If you withdraw earnings from a Roth account before age 59 and a half, you may have to pay taxes and penalties on that money. You need to calculate how much of your account is original contributions versus investment growth. Only the contributions are penalty-free. Another condition is that you must have a plan to rebuild the retirement account. Once you pay off the debt, you should start contributing to the Roth account again immediately. You cannot just stop saving for retirement because you had to borrow from it once. You need to treat the money you take out as a loan that you must replace. If you can replenish the account over the next year or two, The long-term damage is minimized. If you cannot replenish the account, you are permanently reducing your net worth. Consider the alternative. If you do not liquidate the Roth account, you must find another way to pay the debt. This might mean taking out a personal loan with a lower interest rate, consolidating the debt, or cutting expenses drastically to pay it off faster. A personal loan might have an interest rate of 10%, which is still lower than 24%. This saves you money without touching your retirement. But if you have no other options and the debt is threatening your financial stability, the Roth withdrawal becomes a viable emergency tool. The decision ultimately comes down to a comparison of risk. Carrying 24% debt is a high-risk strategy that guarantees a loss of wealth. Liquidating a Roth account is a medium-risk strategy that sacrifices future potential for present stability. If the debt is small enough that the interest cost is negligible, keeping the money in the Roth is better. If the debt is large enough that it is crushing your monthly cash flow, paying it off is better. You have to look at your specific numbers. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. I am a one-person team working hard to make each video better than the last. Subscribe if you found value. It is the best way to show support. Drop a comment with your biggest takeaway. See you in the next video.